everyone, it's Misty here from TheJollyFatElf. Happy Wednesday. Welcome to another video in my 2025 Valentine card series. In today's video, I am pulling out that Project Use Your Stuff bin, and I'm using one of the stamp sets that I mentioned that I wanted to use in this series. So today we are making a cute little snow globe. I'm not making a shaker card, we're just making a snow globe. I'm going to show you how you can layer one layer stamping. We're going to do some masking, etc. So it's going to be a really fun video. I've heard you say that you want more of this, more of me using my stash, those kinds of things. So I think after this project, I'll figure out a way for us to kind of shop my stash together. I've done that before on my makeup channel, but we can figure out how to do it here. So yeah, so I'm open for that 100%. So yeah, anyway, if you haven't already, I hope you'll consider subscribing. Yeah, so do I have anything else to tell you? I don't think so. All right, let's head over to the craft table and I'll walk you through today's cute video. Hello, friends. So here is a look at the stamp set I talked about. I have no idea what the stamp set is. I purchased it secondhand, threw away the packaging, go me. So here is the paper that I'm pulling. This paper was used, man, I don't remember, but it's been around for a little bit. So I'm going to be using it in today's card. So I'm going to be doing a stamping a scene. So when you're stamping a scene, whatever's going to be in front needs to be stamped first. So I'm using these cute little bunnies and I'm stamping them first with Memento Tuxedo Black ink. Then I'm going to bring in a piece of eclipse masking tape, like eclipse, like the moon eclipse. And I am going to put that down and I'm going to stamp on top of it. And this is how we're going to create our mask. Now, if you have full sticky notes, that will probably work for you. There are a couple other things that you could possibly use, but this is what I like to use. This roll has lasted me forever. I'm going to cut right up on the lines on that masking tape, and then we're going to layer it over our cute little bunnies, and then we're going to stamp the scene. So this is a circle that has a couple of trees and some snow hills in the back, and I thought this would be really cute. This stamp set is adorable. I may end up using it again. I feel like it would be really good for some winter themed cards. So you see me rubbing it with my hand, and that's because it was super duper sticky and it just kept sticking to the paper, and so I had to eventually just no holds barred go ahead and do that. So then I realized that I needed to stamp the bottom of the snow globe, and I really only needed one or the other. So you don't need both of these. They won't both, like it when you cut it out, it's not like layered. You either use the heart one or you use the other one. So I brought in a couple of ink pads so that I could find one that went with the paper, and I found one from Pink Fresh Studio. Actually, both of these are from Pink Fresh Studio. You can disregard the green. I'm going to stamp the sentiment, but I'm going to end up not using that sentiment later down the road. So the one issue with these inks, and kind of any kind of dye-based inks in general on these ink cubes, is I feel like I have to stamp it 9,062 times in order to get a solid stamp. So this is a Valentine sentiment set from Simon Says Stamp. I bought this eons ago, but it has this cute stamp that says "Wanna Cuddle," and I thought, how perfect is that sentiment for this card? Okay, we can be doing some Copic coloring. So for the first bunny, I'm using E21, 30, and 000. And I am starting with my darkest color, going out of the outside, and then I'm working my way in. These bunnies are super duper easy illustrated, so there's not a lot of area for like shadows and highlights, etc. But I'm adding the darkest underneath the scarf. I'm adding dark underneath the arm, keeping the bottom of the ear darker than the top of the ear, and then I'm bringing in R20 to add in a little bit to their cheeks. And then I'm going to use a one of these inside the ear, and then I'm going to go over it with the pink. That way it's not like a vibrant pink, but there is a hint of pink inside their ears. For the gray bunny, I'm using C20 and 00, I believe. I'm keeping it very light. I wanted this card to be really pretty and pastel, and I think it turned out perfectly. Again, starting on the outside with the darkest, working my way inside. I'm trying to keep them very, very light, and hence why I'm using very light colors. And again, going to add a little bit of that pink. I'm going to blend it out with the lightest color, add a little bit of that pink inside the ear, and go over it with the lightest color. And those are the bunnies. Super quick, super simple, not a whole lot of blending, etc. And I really love these kind of simple illustrations. For the trees, I used YG11, I'm pretty sure. And I just used one color. Here I'm trying to find a blue for the bunny scarf, and later I'll use this to find a pink or a coral for the shirt. And I believe I used BG04 and something else, I forgot, and I haven't written it down yet. But later you'll see a picture of the Copics that I used. Someone did ask me if I will start doing that, and I will do my best to remember that. That way you guys can take a picture of it or write it down, screenshot, etc. So I will try to keep that in mind. If you didn't know, I'm very forgetful, so if I don't remember, I will do my best. So let's see, I can't read my own handwriting. Misty, that's not helpful. Well, I do know for the pink scarf or the curl scarf, I'm using R43, I think 32, and then one other color that looks like B01, B000 for the scarf. I need better handwriting. Lord. I don't own B000. It's colored in on my paper, but I don't own it, so I need to pick one up. So again, doing corals for the really cute kind of coral leaning scarf. And if you didn't know, I love coral. If you saw my craft room tour, I've decorated in purple, like aqua and coral. And in my master bedroom, our primary bedroom, that's the same color. Color story there too. So it looks like R43, R32, and R21. This is a Futunesco like calligraphy pen. I could not find my micron brush nib, and that's what I really like to use on noses and stuff like that. This is B000, and I am using that underneath the bunnies to add a little bit of shadow, and then just around the edges of the kind of snowbanks and the edges of the brain circle. And then I'm bringing in like BG000 to add a little bit of difference between the sky and the snow. And once that's done, I'm going to bring in a white gel pen. I normally don't do this, but I am doing it. And I'm going to add some dots to these little pink scarf. I wanted it to be like little bigger polka dots, but that didn't work out. And I didn't scrap this whole thing, even though I was like, I don't know that I love the scarf, but I do feel like it turned out really cute. And then I add just a little bit of dot to their nose to add just a little bit of a highlight. And then I added some dots in the back. You can't even really see them, but I went ahead and did it. I know that a lot of people will go over their image with white gel pen to make it look like it snowed on them. I'm not that brave. I'm not that brave. I don't have that kind of bravery. So yeah, anywho, I'm going to go ahead. I already cut out the bottom of the snow globe, as you can see on the top of the screen. And then I'm using the circle to cut out the scene. So this is a card base I made last week when I was working with the Flintstones. This is just a A2 size card. And then I had this, I want to say this is snow cone from MFT. And then I just layered it right up with the striped paper. I'm going to be adding the snow globe with the Scotch mounting foam. I'm going to have to find something else, y'all. This is $56 a roll. I'm like, are you kidding me? That's ridiculous. That's ridiculous. I'm not paying that much money for a roll of adhesive. Boy, I hate it, but I'm going to have to find something else. So initially, I used a 1-inch circle punch to cut out that sentiment that I stamped, and I was having a hard time with it. I tried to bring in some glitter paper because I thought maybe that would help, but it didn't. But I loved the color because the color went with the the striped color, but I just couldn't get it to work. And I tried 3 or 4 different sentiments. You'll see one off to the side in just a second, where I was like, none of these are working. None of these are working. What am I going to put down for a sentiment? Because it needed something, like it needed something to go with. So I brought in the sentiment, and I'm going to be using this pink piece of paper, and we're going to heat emboss. So I'm using an embossing tool to remove the static. I'm going to use Versamark ink and stamp. And then I'm going to use some white embossing powder, and then we'll melt that, and we will have an embossed sentiment. Let me know in the comments down below if you guys would be interested in a more in-depth tutorial on heat embossing. It's one of my favorite techniques. I don't use it enough, but it is one of my favorite. It just adds a little bit oomph. It just adds a little bit of that oomph. And you don't even have to add powder. You could have used this tone on tone, but I really like the white with it. So I'm going to get that adhered, and then I realized I need 2 pieces of adhesive, and then I'm going to bring in some turquoise dots, and after I do that, that's it. This card was quick and simple, really cute, really sweet. I will try to have all of cards you've seen me made, minus the Fred one, listed in the Etsy shop by this weekend. That way, if you want to purchase them for your special Valentine, you will get them in time to send them out. And I hope you have a good day, night, weekend, wherever you are. Say hi in the comments. I love your faces, and I will see you in my next video. Bye for now.